Hello Flosstube, I'm Angelica and this is my channel Rose Red Crafts, and it's time for a stitching update. First off, I want to say that our AC is broken, and so we have the windows open and fans blasting. I did turn my fan above me off, so I do need to get through this pretty fast before I become too uncomfortable. But there will be noise in the background. There's nothing I can do about that because there's other people in the house besides me. So their fans are on. Like I said, the window's open, so there's nothing I could do about neighbors' dogs. I don't think that there's going to be any yard work today, but who knows. And then my little is full of energy right now. So you will probably hear him in the background. But there is no stopping today. I need to get through everything that I want to get through today because I do have an appointment in a few hours. On top of the fact that it's early enough right now that it's still kind of cool outside and the summer heat hasn't picked up. So yeah, so hopefully this doesn't take me too long today. So, today is Thursday, July 31st. My last video was in May, where I planned to work monogamously on a single project and had expected to be back in June for regular updates, but putting it lightly, life got busy. I'm not going to elaborate, but just want to mention that my mental health was not in a good way these past few months, which majorly contributed to not making any videos. And I'm really, really disappointed that I wasn't able to make a mid-year whip parade or my quarterly 2 update earlier this month. I was really looking forward to it. I've never done a mid-year whip parade, and so this was going to be my first time doing it, and it just didn't happen. And I know that technically it's my channel and I can do whatever I want, but I already expected to make my end of the year whip parade in November. I like to do it. I did it last year in November, where it was posted right before Thanksgiving, so that I could have that out of the way before the holidays happen, and I could focus on Flossmas and Christmas stitching. But also November is when I have when my channel's anniversary is, so it makes sense to do my whip parade at that time. So and I've only put out 3 videos this year. I was looking, I was looking earlier. I've only put out 3 videos this year, so it just doesn't make sense to do a parade at this point. So maybe I could get it done next year. So anyway, I don't have a ton of life updates to share over these past few months, but I am satisfied by the amount of stitching that I've achieved. And I was able to gather up all my projects and stitch counts last night before bed, but everything else that I want to go over, like plans and stuff, I haven't really. I'm having trouble collecting my thoughts, so I'm kind of winging it. I was able to make some bullet points this morning, and try to gather up everything so that I don't forget. But it's going to be it might be a little scattered at the end, as I'm trying to pull all of those thoughts together in a cohesive way. So we're just going to start with everything that I've worked on over the last 3 months, okay? And then I'll figure it out later. So so we're covering May, June, July. So Yeah, because, yeah, okay. So we're covering the last 3 months of projects. Over these 3 months, I've worked on 16 projects. 3 were new starts. I have 3 finishes, and I put in 58,733 stitches. So typically I would go in order of what I worked on. Um, that's just what makes sense to me on a normal video. But this video I kind of broke it up into sections. So first I'm going to start with my finishes. So the first finish I have is Supernatural Sal by the Witchy Stitcher. This is a coffee tea dyed fabric 18 count that I did. I think it was the last time I did coffee tea dye. Um, and I doing this 2/1. And I worked on this for 7 days and put in 4,453 stitches. And it is done, except for I was having trouble with French knots. I've never done French knots. I've been able to avoid it all these years. But, oh, wait, actually. There's 3 boxes that require French knots, and I was just struggling with it. So even though I'm counting this as done, I do hope to get through and figure out get the French knot situated so I can finish it before the year's over. So these mushrooms are supposed to have some French knots on those. This fairy is supposed to have French knots in her wings, and the demon is supposed to have French knots along these whatever these are called. But otherwise, it is all done. Also, the way I had my goal set up for this year, I didn't intend to have any finishes this year, because I had gotten so many finishes done last year that everything I had to work on, like obviously I said Supernatural, it was almost 4,500 stitches that I had left on it. And my goal this year was to touch everything, and except for my focus pieces, everything was only supposed to get 2,000 stitches. So doing 4,500 stitches on that took away from another project, theoretically. So either I'm not going to be able to get around to everything this year, or sorry, that dog is distracting me. So it's a potential. Finishing these projects could potentially take away from other projects. But I did make a spreadsheet. I made a spreadsheet to kind of organize what I've done and what I still need to do, and I'm pretty satisfied with the way it's all working out. So I'm mostly caught up on all my goals, and the few projects that I haven't done isn't like I started with the most important stuff, and I'm working my way down to the least important projects. So I'm good. So yeah, I wasn't intending on having any finishes this year because I was only supposed to put 2,000 stitches on everything, and I ended up putting in more on Supernatural and the next 2 projects. Technically, we'll get into that. So next is story time. Story time is from Forbidden Fiber Co. And this is my finish. It was part of a Valentine kit, mystery kit. So I knew that it was a Princess Bride themed mystery kit. I just didn't know anything that was going to be included. So this is my finish. Let's see here. I worked on it for 5 days. I put in 4,226 stitches. That's not counting my back stitching. And this is 2/1 on 18 count. The fabric is called Granite. It was part of the kit. Hold on. I'm gonna... Okay. So, and then I did 1 day of back stitching. I did not count that towards my stitch count. I just did it. And I did all the back stitching just like a week ago, I think. Because I just wasn't sure how I back stitching. Okay. I didn't want to back stitch. So, I'm bringing it up close a little bit so you can see, some back stitching is more prominent than others. So a couple things that I changed. First off, okay, see these? I can't hold it like that either. That's kind of inconvenient. Let's see here. If I go like this, maybe. So the boy is in his bed, but the grandfather, I was misreading what this is. I thought that these were his shoulder pads, and the red was part of a jacket. And it wasn't until I was all done with the back stitching that I was questioning it, and I realized actually the red is a chair and the white is like the back of the chair, or he's in another bed. I'm not sure exact. I don't remember, but if it's part of the movie or if it's part of the, but so the red and the white is not the grandfather. That's what he's sitting on. So then I realized, oh, this is actually the book. He's holding the book in his lap. And for some reason, I was picturing that as like part of like he had some kind of weird embellishments on his jacket. So I didn't realize that, like, I didn't like the way it looked, but now that I realized I was just looking at it wrong, now I like the way it looks. Then all of these all the red words are supposed to be back stitched, and then there's back stitching that is like a diagonal design all the way across the whole thing. And I did the F. I didn't like the way it looked, but I was trusting the process, and I started in on the E, and I was like, I really don't like this at all. So it took me like 3 times as long as it took to put the back stitch in, that I ended up having to frog it all out. And because I want to be able to see that red. I'd rather see the red, because when you start putting all the back stitching on it, the red was getting covered up, and it was kind of like, it was dark and muted, and I didn't like it the way it looked. So I nixed all the back stitching on the words. Now the F still has a little bit of back stitching that I couldn't dig out, but there is also like a gray for shading. So it's not very, you can't notice it very well. So the F and the G has a little bit of extra back stitching, because I had back stitched the G before I even did the reds. So you wouldn't even, the red's probably covering up most of the back stitching on the G. But the F, there's a strip between the red and the gray that is down the center. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to, it's done. I'm done with this project. I didn't say, but I did have it written down. Story time, I started this March 6th of 2024, so last year. And Supernatural, I started that on June 18th of 2022. Okay, and then the last finish I have is Welcome to Tatooine from Country Magic Stitch. I don't know if I showed this last time. I think I did it after the fact, but I did make a project bag. Yeah, I don't think you would have seen it, because I got the fabric on Mother's Day. So I did make a project bag for my Star Wars. I do have all of the charts for all the Star Wars charts from Country Magic Stitch. So I intend to exclusively use this project bag for those charts until I'm done with them all. So here's my welcome to Tatooine. This is, oh, that's my last one. Hold on. Welcome to Tatooine. This is 4/1 half stitch. I hate 4/1, but this is the look that I want. So, I will tough it out. So, I haven't washed this yet, so I'm hoping that'll fix some of the imperfections, but, so I spent 16 days on this. I did end up working on it monogamously throughout May. I didn't work on anything else. So I started this May 1st. I should also say, it was 22,528 stitches. Because I want to do them all, I knew that half stitch was the way to go, so I could get it done a lot faster, especially since there's so much color blocking. After you get, you have to get the outline first of where you're going to be working, and then it's just all fill in. So, the original plan was to only put in 2,000 stitches, but then I decided to challenge myself and see if I could get this done in May and how fast I could get it done. So so even though I put in 16 days of stitching, I didn't work on it 16 days consecutively. I did start to get burnt out probably around day 12. So the last few days, to where I was putting in like big numbers each day. I think I wrote down, I know I wrote it down, I just don't know where it is. Oh, 1 second. May 10th, I put in 2,887 stitches. So that was my highest stitch count. Oops, that's back. It was my highest stitch count, not only for this project, but for the quarter. I did make notes for my Q2 update. I had started writing because I had intended on filming a Q2 update earlier in this month, and then I just never got around to it. So, but that was one of my notes, was that I put in that many stitches on one single day. But then so I was putting in big numbers on this, and then the last like 3 days I was putting in like 300, 400 stitches. Like I really teetered out, was getting burnt out. Just so that I know in the future, it is possible for me to finish these charts every year if I want to, but I'm not going to challenge myself to do all, I think it's like 8 charts. I'm not going to do, because if I do one a year, that's like 8 years worth, and that's 8 charts. I'm just guessing. But it's like 6 or 8. It's a lot. So, but if I don't, then I could get it started, and I could still technically get it done for the year. I just don't have to do it all consecutively. So I do enjoy Star Wars stitching in May, so it makes sense that moving forward every May I'd be working not only Star Wars but monogamous May, and not jumping to a million projects like Mania. So this is 18 count. I purchased a giant piece of 18 count fabric with the intention of starting a specific project on it, and then ended up deciding to use something else. So I intend on doing all of these Country Magic Stitch all on the same 18 count black fabric. Okay, So that was it for finishes. Next, we're going to do new starts. So the first new start that I started since my last update is I started Shores of Hawkren Hollow, which you've probably seen. I'm not going to pull it out of the plastic because otherwise I would have done it already. I am not doing the, is it MPIs? I'm just doing DMC. I'm doing the DMC. I did purchase all of the floss when I purchased the chart and fabric. Oh, and I did go through, in preparation for the whip parade, which I didn't end up doing. I did go through and reorganize all my whips so that they now are, I made a ton of project bags, and now they all are assigned a project, except for one. Only one project wasn't, didn't get a whip. Sorry. Only one project bag didn't get a whip, but I have a few new starts in October, so at least one of those will get it. If not, it'll get shared between other projects. I mean, multiple projects. But, so, I am doing this on 32 count Lugana, I think. I'm pretty sure the 32 count I bought is Lugana. It just says even weave. But, I know it's not linen when I'm holding this upside down. Okay, so Shores of Hawkren Hollow is by Carriage House Samplings. I worked on this for 8 days and put in 3,382 stitches. This is 2/2. I started this on my father-in-law's birthday, because it is not a project for us. I was trying to decide how I wanted to word this, because it's not a project for him, but it's a project that I would think of him when it's done. It's definitely something I would associate with something he enjoys. So say this is completed and hanging up on my wall, it is something that would remind me of him. So it's not a project for him, and he's still alive, so it's not a memorial piece for him, but it is something. How did I word it? I don't remember what phrase that I was I had used to make it make sense, but it was just, I started it on his birthday because it was a piece that reminded me of him. And I did tell him about it because I thought, oh, that would be kind of weird. So if I didn't at least say something. So I did dye this fabric a couple times. I dyed it once, thought it looked fine, and then realized that the white is going to be kind of, it didn't really pop. Like the fabric was too light. So I did give it another go. It is a combination of taupe and camel. I blended them I made a blend of them together to get this color. I wanted it light. So this is a little bit darker than I had wanted, but it was too light the first time I did it. So I think this is fine. I think I'm happy with the way this color turned out. So I think I worked on it, I said 8 days. I think I did it from his birthday through 4th of July, and I think after that I put it away. My next new start was the project that I had intended on starting for my mom. When it's complete, it actually will be going to my mom. So this is Silver Creek Samplers Wings of Change. And here's where I've got to. I worked on this for 4 days. I put in 2,056 stitches. It is 2 over 2 on 32 count. And it was dyed with mostly teal with a little bit of, I think, royal blue, I think. So it was it's not blended. It was done with one color, and then I did teal. I think I did teal, and then I added, and then I did the blue, and then I did teal again, something like that. Like I had dyed it, and it was too light, so I did it again, and I did it again, and so you can't. I don't think that there's enough of a. I can't. I don't know. It looks good, but it's not. I wanted it to look a little bit more. I had a different style in mind, but it's just on practice, right? So, so I did all the text. I think it took me 2 days to do the text, and then I did all the black on the butterfly, and the white is X's. They're not French knots. I did all the black for the butterfly, and then thought that I would do the fill-in, the orange, and then the white. I would do those like in October when I was ready for like some Halloween stitching, because orange just it was the thought I had so that I could move on to something else. But then because I did set this down for a couple days and then come back to it, and decided I just was going to fill it in now so that I can knock it out, because now that I put in, because now it's reached the goal for the year. That's what it was. At the end, towards the end of July, I started going through and figuring out how many whips I had to do to reach my goal, and I realized that if I finished this butterfly, that I would finish the goal for the year. So then I could put this down, and I won't, and you know, it just not. It's something to mark off. So I was just shy of I was just shy on my stitch count, so I did do this little bit of the flower, started a part of the flower just so that I could get it over the hump, because it needed to be 2025 stitches for it to qualify for the 25 and 25 challenge in fandom. So now, not only did I reach my year goal for this, but it's also checked off for fandom. Speaking of fandom, well, first off, it's in this light purple bag with this. It's got the gold is like shiny. You probably can't tell, but the gold's got a little bit of glitter to it. Speaking of fandom, I have not done any games this year. I've made it all year so far without playing any games. I'm not counting the 25 and 25 because it's literally 25 stitches over what my goal is for the year. With the exception of when I do projects that are half stitch, I count it equal. Whereas in for fandom, if you do half stitch, you have to double the stitches. But yeah, I haven't done any games this year, so part of me is happy. Like I didn't get sucked into any of their special events and games and stuff, because then I could stay on track of what I wanted. The only regret is that I had intended on doing Monopoly like last fall. Like I wanted to start that last fall, and then I wanted to start it in January, and then just stuff happened and I never got around to starting it. And then in October it's kind of gonna, you know, I've got plans for the last quarter of the year. So I never was able to fit into Monopoly into my stitching. So I am disappointed that I didn't do that. But at least I'm staying on top of my goals. So next we're going to do focus pieces. I have 5 focus pieces that I want to work on for the year, and over the last 3 months I've worked on 4 of those. So the first one I'm going to pull out is Pokemon. This is called, its real name is Pokemon Epic Pokemon Generation 1 Extended. From Lord Libidin. I have it written down as Pokemon Gen 1. But usually when I just say Pokemon. This is my Pokemon. So it is in this Pokemon bag that I made. So my focus pieces, first off, my focus pieces have a goal of 10,000 stitches for the year. I had wanted to do Pokemon and Lost Soul sorry, I'm stumbling. I had hoped that not only did I want to reach 10,000 stitches on both Pokemon and Lost Soul, but also I wanted to get them up to 25,000 stitches for the year. That's not going to happen. It is not in my, it is, I don't believe it's going to, I'm going to have time to do that. So, I'm not 100% certain that I could reach 10,000 on each of, or on all my focus projects, but I reevaluated and decided maybe if I drop the goal from 10,000 to 7,500, I might do that, but right now it's still 10,000. So here's where I'm at. Pokemon got 5 days and 3,861 stitches. This is 1/1 on 18 count. I'm not sure where I've worked since or like what the last thing I showed was, but I do know that the last time I did this, I filled in my 3 least favorite Pokemon. Like literally if you were to ask me what my least favorite Pokemon is, these are the 3 that I name. So we got Mr. Mime, Jinx, and Scyther. Then they're all together. So I was working on filling these 3 in on the last day I worked on this. So but yeah, I'm not sure what I did before that. I do know that I already had all of this black done the last time I showed this. But so Pokemon, let me check something real quick. I'm pulling up the spreadsheet that I had just made that keeps me on track of what my goal is for it's whips, the goal for the year, how many stitches I've done this year, and what's remaining. So Pokemon for the year it's at 6,471 stitches. I am going to try to get another 1029 stitches done on it, and then it'll have reached its goal for 7,500, because 1000 sounds better than 3,500. So I'm going to get it to at least, my goal right now, short-term goal, is to get my 5 focus pieces to basically 3/4 of the way to the 10,000, so 7,500. 3 of them have already been are done. They've gotten to that 7,500. Pokemon and Lost Soul are not at 7,500 yet. So, but yeah, so again, my Pokemon, and I'm not sure. I don't know what my overall percentage is, because I could get an estimate at the end of the year. I could get an estimate, but it's only an estimate because the background is counted as stitches, and but not only is the background counted as stitches, but part of this Pokemon used the same color as the background, so I had to add them back in, as because I had counted it as finished, and then I ended up having to like frog them. I had to in Pattern Keeper, I had to frog the stitches that belonged to him so that I could re-add them. So I'm saying that because I don't know if any other Pokemon is going to have that color. So it's just a guess. Next up, I'm going to Melisandre. Melisandre is from Maxine Gadd. She lives in one. I've only ever purchased 2 project bags. This is one of them. From Lammy's Needleworks. So, Melisandre from Maxine Gadd got 3 days, 3,231 stitches. This is 2/1 half stitch on 25 count Lugana. Gotten a lot of progress done on this year. It was a very slow start on this, to where it was taking me just as long to work on this than if it was not half stitch, because half stitch is faster than full cross, but this was not fast. There's so many color changes that it was a very slow start, but now it's picking up. So Melisandre has gotten 8,103 stitches this year. So if I decide to stick to the 7,500 goal instead of 10,000, then this is done. But basically, I think that they're going to stay at 7,500 until I could knock out, or if there's anything else that I want to work on. And then if I decide early enough and I have enough time, then I'll pick these back up and try to get the last bit done. Because she only needs 1,900 stitches left, and then she'll have reached 10,000. Next up is Treasures. Oh yeah, Treasures by Ines Guerrero. This is in my bird bag, which kind of feels like it's, I mean, not everything's gonna fit in a bag that matches the theme, but I really like this fabric. I'm really happy that I got this fabric, so And if you haven't seen it, all my project bags, I use the same fabric for all the pieces, except for the Pokemon ones. I have 2 Pokemon bags that have a different strip of fabric along the top that you would have seen. So I have a blue on this Pokemon, and then I have another Pokemon project, which you'll see shortly, and it has a pink strip. But I wanted to see, because I'm new to making project bags, so I'm trying to get an idea of how much fabric that I need for each project bag. But also, oh wait, I need that still. Anyways, so Treasures, well, first, Treasures is from Enos Guerrero, and it was charted by Thread Geeks. This is where I'm at. I only worked on her for 1 day and got 1,027 stitches. This is 2 over 1 half stitch on 25 count Lugana. This is the end of the page. So from here I'll start moving up. So that is the full width of this image. When I picked this up, I did want to start heading upwards and working to start building onto the ship. If you see the project, I do have it marked off, so I have an idea of where each page breaks and the corners of the pattern is going to be. So I wanted to work on the ship, but the ship is more confetti, and if I could get the bottom half of this, then it's mostly color blocking. So I haven't picked this up since January. I had put so many stitches in it in January that I thought that I was done for the year. But when I was going through and organizing my spreadsheet with all my goals, I realized that that I had only hit the goal for the 25, the fandom challenge. I had reached the fandom challenge goal, but I hadn't reached my year goal on this. So but now, as of right now, Treasures has gotten 7,800. I can't read, sorry. I don't have my glasses on. I can't read far away. Treasures got 7,824 stitches this year. And so it's reached the 7,500 stitch goal, or 75%. It's reached the 75%. So I could, like I said, if I stopped at 75%, then I don't have to pick it up again this year. But if I do want to work on it, I need 2,176 stitches. And then the last focus piece I worked on, I did not work on Lost Soul. That's Selena Fennick. Lost Soul, I didn't work on that at this time. So the last focus piece that I worked on was Princess Belle in this purple bag. I do have the intention of re-kitting up all my projects. I don't have a need. Hold on. I'm going to re-kit up all my projects. So some of these projects are my floss. Like, I keep my project. Oh, so sorry, I wasn't going to talk about this right this second, but might as well. So a lot of my full coverage projects are kit up like this. And then as I need the color, then I will pull it from here and add it to here. But I want to get it to a point, because I'm working on a master floss box. I want to get it to a point where I'm going to re-kit everything up. So I'm going to fill this in and then put all this extra stuff into my master set. But then I need to make a spreadsheet so that I know that this floss is for this project. I just don't need to be carrying it around in my project bag. So, all right. So, Princess Belle is by Ines Guerrero and from charted by Thread Geeks. Yes, I love Ines Guerrero, and I was eyeballing some of her new I think she was one of the ones that had new releases, or I was looking through Thread Geeks new releases, and I was eyeballing a couple of them, and then had to talk myself out of it because I've already got two, right? So here's where I'm at. I've worked on it for 4 days, and I put in 4,271 stitches. This is 2/1 half stitch on 25 count. So all my full coverages are going to be on 25 count, or that's the intention. I did go to purchase some more 25 count at one point, and there was none in stock, and I did have a little panic and ended up purchasing 28 count instead. So I'm going to attempt to stitch on 28 count. I was very scared to start on 25 count because it's so small, but now it's very easy. I have no issues with 25 count, so I'm hoping my eyes will adjust to the 28 just as easily. Also with the 28 count, because I buy that $60 sheet, so the biggest one that 1, 2, 3 stitch has, the larger size, if I get those, if I could buy 2 more of those, sorry, backtrack. So the 28 count that I received, I cut it in half, and I cut it in half because I have a few charts that I want to start, and any of them will fit perfectly on half. I think it's a yard. I think their sheets are a yard, so I'm guessing half a yard is perfect for those full coverages that I want to start. So if I purchase a few more of those, it'll work out well. I was going to talk about that later, and now I just probably stumbled over most of that I was going to explain. So I'll probably recycle back to that when I'm done. Anyways, I was working on this last night. This is one that I was actually working on last night, and I had hit my goal. So Princess Belle, I hit the 7,500 goal, but I was so close to finishing the castle that I wanted to keep going, so I put in another 100 stitches, and then I decided that I needed to do something else last night, so I did have to put it away. And I mean, that's how most whips are for me. Like, I don't want to put it down, but that's the problem. So it's fine, I put it down. So it hit the 7,500 goal, but just barely. So it still needs 2,396 stitches if I want to hit 10,000 this year. And this is, if you see the little dot right here, that's the full length of this. I keep wanting to fold it up smaller so it fits in the bag that it used to be in, but I keep forgetting now they're in these giant bags, so I don't have to fold them down as much. All right. Now it's just everything else that I worked on. There's no rhyme or reason to these. So, but I'm going to go in order of how I have them written down so that I don't get confused. So, first thing I have written down is No Time Like the Present. This is from Modern Folk Embroidery. It is in this bag. I made this bag. This is one of the first project bags I ever made. So it's really cute. It's super cute. Yeah, I love this bag, but I don't really. I'm so used to it having this project that I don't know what I'm gonna put in it after I'm done with it. So, so let's see here. I'm gonna use this because this is a 18 count gridded fabric, but it's very thin. It's very thin compared to the 18 count that I'm used to. I don't know how to explain it. It's super thin. I did get 18 gridded because of the way this was charted as a cell. I just thought it would be easier. But seeing everybody's progress on it, it made me wish that I had just used regular 18 count and then dyed it myself. I feel like I'm the only person that used gridded fabric for this. So, obviously the grid, I'll wash it after I'm done and the grid will be gone. But I am a little sad that I didn't just dye some fabric specifically for this. Anyways, I worked on this for 4 days and I put in 1,656 stitches. It is 1/1 on 18 count, as I said. I honestly, I don't remember. I could tell that I was working on this side. I could tell I was working over here. So I'm not 100% sure where it was the last time I saw it, or you saw it. But it's coming along. I mean, I had wished that I had gotten it done last year. But since the plan was to have this done last year. And when I knew that I wasn't going to get it done, I seen what the 2025 sale or project was, and it wasn't to my style. So I thought, okay, well, that means I have an extra year to get this done. I'm not going to be able to get, I highly doubt I'm going to get this done this year, but I would like to fill this in, finish filling this part in, but it has reached its goal for the year. I've exceeded the 2,000 goal. It's gotten 3,262 stitches this year. So, it's gotten a lot of progress, but I would, just because I like a fresh start when I work on something. So I kind of do want to get this part finished before the year's over, but we'll see, because like I said, this is done. So it's checked off my to-do list. It probably won't get picked up again this year. Okay, next, Pokemon Type Chart by Tiny Pufferfish, which is in my other Pokemon bag. It got, well, let me take it out first. here's the full thing. Now I'm gonna hold it up so I can. Okay. So here's pretty much where I'm at, right? Pokemon type chart got, or by Tiny Pufferfish, if I didn't already say, it got 1 day, and it only got 985 stitches. I wish I would have gotten more progress done on this year. Oh, it's 2/1 on 18 count. Yeah, I wish it would have gotten more progress this year, but it did get over its 2,000 goal. So it got 2,829 stitches this year. So I did hit my goal, but I wish it would have gone farther. Next up is Stained Glass Dragon, which is a stamped kit. This was one of my focus pieces last year. I had hoped I had it planned out to be completed last year, but then I ended up adding a whole bunch of new starts last year. I had so many new starts last year that this did not get the attention that I had wanted it to get. So this is where I'm at. Like, here's the whole thing. So as I said, it's a stamped kit. So it is 3/1 on 11 count. This is the area that I worked on. That's why I'm folding it up. I just pick a color and then I just let it go where it goes. So this color right here, it did get down as low as here. So, but nothing exciting. It's just a stamped kit. Yes. So in 2023, I think I purchased 5 stamped kits. Because I didn't know that I was going to start so many other projects in 2024. I had purchased 5 stamp kits. One of them, I realized before the order had even arrived that it was stolen art, so I decided not to keep it right away. Another one I realized just recently, I think since my last video, like recently, I realized that, hold on, Stained Glass Dragon got 1 day, 657 stitches, if I didn't already say that. So it has not reached its goal yet for the year. I don't know if it will or not. So, the stamped kits that I purchased, I immediately got rid of one of them. Another one, I just recently realized that not only is it stolen, like it's a good thing I didn't put too much time into it. It only got like 1 day, I think, but it's an image I really like. I didn't realize that it was stolen art, but then when I seen somebody working on it on Flosstube, I realized, wait a minute, it actually has the actual chart has some backstitch writing on it, and it didn't occur to me to check how that was charted on the stamped kit, and it was just gibberish. It was like shape. It was text, but you couldn't tell it was text. So so I just scrapped the whole thing. I threw it away. I did save all the floss from it just in case. So the floss is put away, but yeah, I don't know So that's gone. Um, so I now own 3 stamped kits. The dragon, which I'm obviously still working on, the Mona Lisa that I don't know if I'm going to get around to it this year. It had a goal of 2,000 stitches. It is kind of on the back burner, at the bottom of my list. I may or may not work on that this year. And then I have my Sailor Moon chart. I don't know if that's stolen art or not. It is a massive kit, but when I work on that, it's never, my intention is for it to never have a stitch goal. Like, I am only working on that when I feel like working on it. Like, it is that's how I started it off as. Like, I picked it up one day and I was just enjoying working on it, not counting my hours, not counting my stitches, and that's how I intend on continuing to work on that particular whip. Now, like I said, it's not on my I haven't touched it this year. So it's put away, and I have no intention on it's one of those whips that I will pick up when I feel like working on it. So that's what's going on with my stamped kits right now. So next is Well Suited. That is from Ink Circles. The last time I showed this, I had put in 800 stitches. It's in my Batman bag. So the last time I worked on this, I had put in 800 stitches, and then I ended up having to frog the whole thing out. So then so it got put away for a while, and then I decided to pull it back out. Yep. And I put in I have it listed that I put in one day 810 stitches. But this looks like more stitches than what, because before what I had done was if you didn't see before, I was doing this is the outline. I had done all the way around, and as I was coming close to hitting this right here, I think in this area, I was getting ready to get up here, and then I realized that it was out of alignment. So I ended up frogging the whole thing, and I decided to just kind of blossom off of this. And so, but anyways, 810 stitches. This is 2/1 on 18 count. I was anxious to finally use the red. I know I had done this little red bit in the middle a long time ago, but I really wanted to pull out the red and start using it. So, and then I put these 2 little hearts. It's part of the chart, but I did these 2 hearts up here so that I know as I start working on it that this is the top. And I know it's not a big deal, but just for my benefit, it's so that I know that that's the top of the chart. Well Suited has scrap all that. That's why I was confused. Well Suited got 3 days and 1,974 stitches. And it got its 1,974 stitches, 3 days. I must have worked on it. I might not. I don't know. It says that on my goals that it hit 2075. So I'm not sure if I missed something somewhere, but it did reach its goal for the year. So I may or may not pick that back up again. I probably will. All the ones that have reached their goal, they're probably not getting touched. Not unless it's calling to me. Video game sampler. I always forget to say this, but Video Game Sampler has adult language on it, so I'm gonna flash the picture up, but it does have, you know, adult language. This is a chart that I am going to surprise my husband with. I had originally started it in a mystery cell type of way so that he couldn't see what was going on, but as time has gone on, I'm losing that motivation to keep it a secret. So here's where I'm at. This got one day 810 stitches, 2 over 1 on 18 count. So yeah, so it was pretty much just this black text on the top. All the black got added. So it's just getting harder to pick and choose what to stitch, and then I'm also like in a rush to make progress on it. So I just want to stitch it. I don't want to be picking and choosing what to hide. Let's see here. Video Game Sampler, it has reached its goal for the year, so I am yeah, it's reached its goal for the year. All right, next is Travel by TARDIS. That is one of the Country Magic Stitch projects that I started this year. Oops. I didn't realize the floss was wrapped up in it. When I kit this one up, I just made a quick little tag like that. This way up. So this is Travel by TARDIS. I'm gonna flop it on this. Travel by TARDIS. It got 2 days, 1,516 stitches. It is 4 over 1 half stitch on 18 count. I like that textured look to it. It does have some holes open because there's stars are going to be getting put in there. I had started this in an odd way because the first day that I worked on it this year, I realized that I was actually missing a couple of colors, so I ended up having to order those. I do have them now. So I had started in the middle and then had to weirdly make my way up to the top corner because then I wanted to start at the top and work my way down. This was the first Country Magic Stitch project that I started in this format, this 4 over 1 half stitch. I wanted to see how it looked first before deciding to do all of the whole series in the same way. If you look, the window is kind of, I know that it's kind of blowing it out a little bit, but the window looks kind of not pretty. But as it gets filled in, it'll look fine. So this one has not reached its goal yet. It is one of the. It is. One second. Travel by TARDIS and Stained Glass Dragon, I believe, are the only two projects that I've worked on this year that have not met their goal yet. Sorry for that long pause, but yeah, I think those are the only two projects that I've touched so far that haven't reached their goal. And that's kind of how the mindset I was in this at the end of the month was. Anything that I had started, I wanted to see if I could knock them out, so then I could have what I have left, so that I could have my focus pieces, and then whatever hasn't been touched, then I could work on those when I have the time. But I also have intentions of starting a bunch of new starts this year. So the last project that I worked on was Sampler 208 by 2x2 stitch art, or 2x2 stitch art, or however you want to say it. Every time I pick this up, I feel like I always show it in the wrong orientation, but I got it. Or today I got it. I got it. So here's this is how big it's gonna be. Here's what I worked on. This one got 2 days, and I stitched 2,100 stitches. So obviously it hit the goal. This was the last piece that I worked on. This was the last piece that I started. This is what I meant to say. It's the last piece that I had started. I just squeezed it in just last week in preparation for this video. I did squeeze it in to knock it out, to try to, so that it gets touched, because this is one of my oldest projects. This is, well, I guess that's over half. So this is one of my oldest projects. I'm trying to think, because I don't have the page. I don't have the thing available right now. So Pokemon, Aurora Cabin, and then this. So yeah, this is one of my oldest projects, and I don't reach for it. I really got to be in the mood to work on this, but also as I was working on this, I realized that Well Suited is almost the same vibe as I'm stitching it. It's giving me the same. It's giving me that same. This like the. It feels the same. I can't think of how to explain it. So when Well Suited is over, when I finish that, then I don't want to start another project similar, because then this will get more neglected longer. So as I said, it got 2,100 stitches, so it reached its 2,000 stitch goal. Had I reached a 2,000 stitch goal before finishing this box, then I would have completed this box. So I was surprised that I was able to finish this whole box, and I still needed more stitches. So I got this framed up, and then so I could get those done next year. I don't know if this will get another stitch goal for next year, or if maybe I will do 1 square per quarter next year. I don't know. But this is one of the pieces. It's like I said, it's my oldest piece, and I want to work on it. And I want it to get progress every year, but I don't have the need to hurry up and get it finished. So, so I don't know what you would call that. I feel like calling it a filler whip isn't necessarily doing it justice, because I really love the way this is going to look when it's done. I love the black on the pink and purple. I really like the way that looks. So, but I'm not in a rush to finish it. But maybe I could do 1 section per year instead of it taking so long. So this one, it was started March 9th, 2023. So it's 2 years old, and I haven't made enough of a dent in it. So that's everything I've worked on since my last update. So everything else that I go over from here on out is a little scattered. So the first thing I had listed was fabric, but I kind of already went over that. Or I already touched on it. Sorry. I kind of already touched on that when I was talking about the 28 count. I had bought some 28 count fabric. The reason why I purchased that fabric is I was going through in May, about mid to late May, I was going through all of my purchased patterns. I was going through all of them to see what I have that I haven't started yet, and like made a list of like my must-have starts, because I have, there's a lot of charts that I have, or patterns, that I really like, but I don't have to start them. Like, it's good to have in case, but so I broke it down, and I own 7 full coverage charts that are a must for me to work on, that haven't been started yet. Obviously I already have a bunch of full coverages, so I kind of feel like I won't start a new full coverage until one of my other full coverages have reached certain milestones. Like maybe I get I hit 25% on my Lost Soul, and then I could go ahead and start another full coverage. Maybe. Or maybe I just pull it out because I want to pull it out. Anyways, there's 7 charts that are a must for me. Like, I love them. I want to get them. I want to have them in my rotation. That being said, I don't have a particular, I'm not going to decide what needs to go in what order, because I'm going to wait and start them when I feel like starting them. For the most part, or for most of them, I could start with the black and then purchase floss as needed. I think there's 1 or 2 that I can't do that on because it's more color than it is black. So I have the 28 counts, and it's cut in half. So now I have fabric for 2 full coverage charts that I could start whenever I'm ready to start them. 2 of those 7 projects. Now, technically it's 6, because one of the projects is a long skinny panel, and I did purchase fabric specifically just for that. So that 7th one, it has its fabric and it's put away. So there's 6 full coverage projects. 1 second. I just want to verify something before I say it. Alright, so 5 of those projects are Hades, and 1 of them is from Thread Geeks. So the Thread Geeks one is smaller. It's on the smaller side, but not by too much. But the Hades are obviously all large. So any one of those Hades will fit on half a yard of the 28 count. So at any given time, I could go ahead and start one of those projects, but it probably won't be until next year. But I am allowing myself to start them whenever I want. The panel one, I think I'm gonna actually start that this year. I don't know when. I don't know if I'm gonna do it before the summer's over, or if I'm gonna wait till the fall. I don't know, or even December. I don't know when I'm going to start it, but I'm pretty sure that I'm going to start that one this year. And that is, I guess I don't have to be It's the Peter Pan by Creatively Stitching. I'm sorry, Peter Pan. It's the Peter Pan panel from Mandy Manzano, charted by Creatively Stitching. So I purchased that like 3 years ago, and I have been dragging my feet to starting it. I think it was one of the earlier charts that I purchased. But yeah, I purchased that way back when, before I even started the full coverage. I really got into full coverage. I purchased it, and then thought it was going to be too expensive to kit up, so it just sat. And then other charts have come in and into the rotation, and I keep not getting around to that one. Anyways, so that was what I wanted to talk about the fabric, and technically go over those plans for those full coverage projects. Next is some charts. I purchased a bunch of charts since May. I purchased Body Manor from Forbidden Fiber Co.'s Body Manor. I had mentioned this before, that I really wanted it. It's the clue chart from Forbidden Fiber Co. It's what motivated me after I purchased that. It's what motivated me to finish the story time, because I didn't want to. I already knew that I didn't want to start the clue chart until after the Princess Bride was done. So I have the chart. I intend on starting it in October, but I haven't 100% decided if I'm going to use DMC or if I want to purchase the called for colors. I haven't decided yet. I also need to figure out if I need to purchase any fabric for all the new starts that I have planned this year, both on 18 count and 32 count. I need to pull out my fabric, because I know I don't have that much big of a stash of fabric right now. But I need to pull it. I need to find one morning to pull everything out, preferably in August or maybe September. But I need to pull everything out and figure out what I need to order, and what all I can start. Because I have a massive list of like 20 new starts for October, and it's going to come down to how much fabric I have, not the floss, because in October I plan on doing one project each day, and you can only get so many stitches in on one day, and whatever I decide to work on in October are going to be October exclusive projects, so I won't be working on them again throughout the year. So I'm not worried about floss on anything that I start, or mostly don't worry about floss, because primarily I'm going to use DMC for everything. Anyways, I just need to figure out because the fabric's going to be the issue. How much can I start on what I have, and if I purchase more, how many can I realistically cut out of that fabric? So, anyways, so I purchased Body Manor. Then I also purchased Modern Folk Embroideries, Got the Morbs and Spirits of the Dead. These are charts that I had mentioned back in January that I intended on working on in October. So I knew all year that I was going to be working on them. So I'm not concerned about the fabric for those. I'm pretty sure that those are already situated or accounted for. So those will definitely be new starts in October. I also purchased Carolyn Manning's Thistle. A lot of people do Manning May. I'm not going to do Manning May. I have no intention on doing Manning May, but I do like seeing when people work on them. When I see other floss tubers working on a Manning, I would like to have one in my rotation. So, but I've been really picky about choosing one. And I finally decided on Thistle. I decided that one's got the vibe and the color scheme that would make me happy. So I do intend on starting that maybe next spring. We'll see. I definitely need to get floss for that one. Um, Then the other two charts I purchased, those were all PDFs. I did purchase two actual charts, which I'm not a big chart person, like physical chart. I like PDFs primarily. But I did purchase Midnight Watch from Blackbird Designs. And then I purchased Scary Sampler from Heartstring Samplers. So I need to see if I have the fabric for this or if I need to purchase some, but these are intended starts for this October. I had said earlier that I wanted to re-kit everything. My project bags. I wanted to reorganize my project bags, is another way to say it. So I did make a whole bunch of new project cards. I was having issues. I was having a lot of issues, and it was taking up many hours of my time, and I was getting very frustrated. So this is my old project card. These are what my old project cards look like. This is the only one that printed out perfectly the way I want it. Because I don't have a printer. First off, I should say I don't own a print. I own printers, but they break. I have bad luck with printers, so I don't currently have a printer. So I'm using my Cricut. So it writes with a marker, and then it cuts it out. This is the only one that came out perfectly. Everything else, they're off centered. They're the wrong size. They're cutting in the wrong spot. It was a whole mess. I was having, so I made a whole bunch, and I'm fine with the way, like, these are doable. They don't have to be perfect. I'm not selling these. These are just for my personal, these are for my personal use. So, for example, this one right here, the notes at the bottom got cut off. So it's just not pretty. But yeah, personal use, I don't care. So I made a bunch of project cards. Then I ended up, what I was saying is, this is my old way, and then I decided to, since I was having so much trouble with this, I wasn't 100% happy with this because I always got confused with stitch count. When I got to this, when I was filling this in, I would always write the wrong thing where it says stitch count, because I also have number of stitches. Stitch count is supposed to be like the size of the chart. So I made a new one. So now it says chart size. And then all my projects are either Ada or Lugana. I don't work on linen, at least not at this time. So I just added that in so I could just circle or highlight it or whatever. And then for fabric, I could put the size and whatever color that I dye it, because most of my projects, or most of my fabrics, I dye. Well, and then I also cut out a million floss tags. The colors don't mean anything. It's just cardstock that I had. And I needed them to be light enough in color that I could see what I write on them. So I didn't do any dark colors. So this golden color seems to be like my go-to whenever I'm kitting stuff up. That's usually my go-to color is this, because I've done these before, but I was getting low, and so I made some more. So they're just on this ring temporarily, and I guess I should show they'll normally be on a ring like this, and the floss will go through there, obviously. But this is This was just to keep them, because they were just thrown in. Sorry. So I've been using this bucket. I've just been storing them in the bucket, as well as my cards. So I've just been storing them in this bucket until I need them. Alright. Floss box. I'm not sure. So I have floss box written down. I think I've already talked about this, but just in case. So I'm doing a master set, and I bought a filing cabinet. This was not my first option, but it's what I ended up deciding on. I took the file folders, I cut them. There's a crease in it, so I cut them there, and then I folded it up. I was going to glue them. I didn't have glue, so I just quickly taped it closed. So I cut them and then folded them up to where, so that they mostly line up. I then labeled them, and then for every certain sections I just made a note. So 0, it says 0, 100 / 100. Yeah, 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So I just marked them off wherever the new 100 started is what it was. Except for, it goes 33, and then it goes 36 / 37, and then 38. Yeah, so there must not be a lot of 3600s. So yeah, I had been I had already put in all of the floss from the projects that I've already finished. Because if you didn't know, I'm new to DMC as of last year. I'm pretty sure last year was the first time I used DMC. Because before that I was using the knockoff floss. So I only have 2 finishes that I did in DMC, so I've already incorporated them into the box. As I finish more projects, they'll get incorporated, but also, like I said before, I'm going to re-kit some of these so that I could incorporate those into the box, because like I said, if some projects are only going to get worked on a couple days a year, I don't need to stress about a new project needing floss that this project already has. So I just want to make sure that I have a spreadsheet that has that labels what projects need which colors, so that if a color starts to get low, then I know I should probably order some more before this chart needs it, or before I need it for this particular project. So I'm just trying to keep it organized. So it is a slow process right now. I haven't put in too much time in it recently. Over the last couple months, I haven't really spent much time on it. I also shared in the past, back in December, when I was starting all my Christmas projects, I had bought this floss. Super excited about these colors. This one looks a little rusty right now, but that's just the lighting. So this is like a dark ruby, and this is like an emerald. It's like ruby and emerald, or garnet and emerald, whatever. So they're these really pretty Christmas colors, or like these are like my go-to favorite. So for most of my Christmas projects, these are the red and greens that I'm using. When I went to go incorporate them into the box, I realized that the numbers that were on these are not DMC numbers. So I looked them up, and I'm pretty sure that these are equivalent to 814 and what 3818. I can't read backwards. So I put question marks because I think these are the right colors, but I'm not going to incorporate them into the DMCs because these are obviously not DMCs. These are knockoff floss that they have numbers on them, on the labels. There's numbers, but they're obviously they're not real. So I didn't realize that when I purchased them. I didn't realize it all last year when I was using them, or not all last year. In December, I didn't realize that when I was using them that they were fake. I think that's all I needed to talk about my floss box. Let me switch over to diamond painting real quick. I don't over the last year or so, I have not been diamond painting as much as I used to. I used to be able to finish a large diamond painting in a week, and now I'm struggling to make the time for it. So I did spend a bit of time diamond. When I say a bit, it might have been like 4 to 6 days over the last 3 months. I spent diamond painting. So I just want to show you where I'm at on my current whip before it gets put away for the year. So this is a Kiki's delivery service. And then let me see if I can stand up. So this is what I've gotten completed. And this is what I got left. It looks like it's more than it actually is. So I started this last spring, spring of 2024. And because of the bright flowers and colors and stuff, I associate it with spring. So I'm not going to want to work on it. I'm not going to want to work on it for the rest of this year. Even though it's witch, you know, she's a witch, it just doesn't count to me. I had considered putting away the last, when I was working on it last, I had considered I had considered to stop cross stitching and try to not finish this off, because I can. I could finish it off. I just put it away. Sorry for all the crinkling. I just put it away. So if you saw, it had these sheets of paper on it. These are 5x7 sheets of they're release papers. So they're like parchment paper backing. So this is a 5x7 sheet. I could finish a 5x7 sheet in 5 hours. It takes me 5 hours to complete a diamond painting part that's this big. It could take me longer if there's a lot of confetti, and I could get it done faster if there's a lot of color blocking. So that's how it determines how much time I need to put into it. So usually when I'm diamond painting, as of recently, as the last year, I could probably, when I decide to diamond paint, I'll knock off a section like this, and then I'm done. Before I started cross stitching, and diamond painting was my main hobby, I can knock out like 3 or 4 sheets per day. So that's just to give you an idea of how much time I spend diamond painting then and than I do now. The reason why, or one of the reasons why I wanted to share with you that diamond painting progress is that I intend on starting, one of my goals for August is to diamond paint, and not only just start a new project, but to finish it. I want to finish it. So I'm going to be starting maybe Monday. Maybe I might start it on Monday, but I'm going to be starting the Equinox. The Equinox by Ashley Cassidy. So this is the image. Yeah, I'm going to be starting that, and my goal will be to get it done in August, and that's actually my main goal. I do have 2 new starts, cross stitch starts. I do have 2 plans starts for August. I'll tell you in a second, but my main goal will be to start and finish that diamond painting. So that's one of the reasons why I am worried about not being able to get all my goals met, cross stitch goals met this year, because I do want to, not only do I have a bunch of new starts planned, but I also want to spend some time diamond painting. So I want to get this done. I want to get this done this month. I'm trying to put that away somewhere. This out of my way. Also for that, when I start the Equinox, I'm going to be using this pen. This is my very first diamond painting pen, and it is my favorite diamond painting pen. And typically, as a diamond painter, most diamond painters like to have their pen and their tray match their kit, whatever project they're working on. And I just feel out of my diamond, I have 9 diamond painting pens. This is my go-to favorite one that I always use. It looks like a chunk of rock or stone, you know. I love this one. So this is what I'll be working with on the Equinox. Okay, and I had already kit that one up. I had already kit the Equinox up earlier this month. Was it July when I kit it up? Probably. All right. So the first new cross stitch that I want to start is it's in this bag right here. Is Persephone. I guess I don't need to pull it out. So Persephone's Garden is from Jed X Stitch. I'm going to be using here's my floss that's kit up for it. And see, this is what this is the vibe that I'm going to be going with when I go to re-kit them up, is just use the tags and a small ring for the smaller projects, at least the ones that don't have a lot of floss. So I'm gonna fix everything up, and then I have the numbers on them, and then I didn't do it on this one. I'm not sure why, but usually I would not only have the number, but I'd also put the symbol on it. And then this is my fabric for it that I dyed. It's 32 count. I'm looking because I'm not sure which side is the side that I wanted to work on. So this is the fabric that I dyed for it. I love the way it turned out. It came out exactly, because I wanted to match it as best as I could with the model stitch. So I thought that was a really good can't think of the word. It looks similar. The other new start I have planned, I don't have the floss out, but I got the tags ready. And it's on this piece of 32 count. No, it's just I don't know if this may be the same, like taupe and camel blend, or it could be just taupe. I'm not sure. I don't remember, and I don't have it written down. And I know I haven't said what it is yet, but it's going to be in this box back. So this is When I Think of the Alphabet by Pentini. She has two When I Think of the Alphabets. This is the 2024 one. I do really like the other one. And depending on how long it actually, if this is something that I could do fast, then I will definitely go and do the other one. But this one has the apple. A is for apple, and that is more important to me than A is for acorn, I think. So, I mean, I could mix and match, but then that means I would have to be obligated to buy both of the charts. And this one I was able to get, it was on sale. I bought it when it was on sale, so I got it for like $20 off. So I had to get it. So I was trying to decide what day would work best for me to start it. And it's called When I Think of the Alphabet. I'm always going to refer to it as ABC. I'm not going to say that whole thing. So for future reference. So trying to decide what day would be best to start it on, I was torn between my child's first day of school or his birthday, which I thought was going to be closer together. I thought they were going to be within a week apart, but I guess school starts on this Wednesday. So, and his birthday isn't until September. So, so there's a big date gap. It's a month. We got a month gap between whether I should start it on the first day of school or his birthday. So what I had decided at first was that I would just do it on his birthday, because his birthday is always on the same date, and the school district, their first day of school is always changing. Then I thought, well, it's his first day of school, like forever. Like he's starting kindergarten. So that would be an important day to start it on. And not only can I start it on his birthday, if I could get it if not only could I start it on his first day of school, possibly by his birthday I will have put in enough, because it's on 32 count, so I'm going to have to do a center start, because I don't trust myself to count. I've learned in the past that if I don't count it right, I am going to be off. So I need to start in the center, and it's a graph, right? So if I do lines, then it's possible that by his birthday I'll have gotten to the spot with the A, and I could actually start in on the A for his birthday, or another letter. But I could start it on the first day of kindergarten, but then also work on it on his birthday. So that's my intention for it. Speaking of his first day of school, I just found out yesterday that I have to, I haven't had a child in elementary school in many years. But not only that, but school is different nowadays than it was when my kids were in school, let alone when I was in school. So, the schools are different now. He'll be starting kindergarten next week on Wednesday, the 6th, August 6th. Is his first day of school. But it's not just a drop him off and then he has I actually have to it's like a parent's thing, so I have to actually sit in with him. So on his first day of school, but not only do I sit in with him, oh wait, first day of school is a Wednesday. I'll explain that in a second. Stay on track, please. So his first couple of days of school are minimum days. I don't know how that affects him, considering he's in kindergarten and he already has short days as it is. So I'm not sure what the difference is going to be between, I don't know what the difference is going to be. So when he starts school, he will have like 2.5, 3 hours every day that he's in school, and I could do whatever I want. My intentions were that I was going to really get into my gaming. So if you're new here, I have a secondary YouTube channel that I wanted to start focusing on gaming and streaming and stuff, but I haven't really had the motivation to do it for a while, so it's just kind of been sitting there it's just been kind of sitting. Not only that, I had started playing Infinity Nikki back in April. I had started playing, and that was the only game that I have over on that channel. So I was recording my gameplay for that, like the complete 100% as I was working on it, gameplay, unedited. And sometimes I would get on the mic and I would talk and explain what I was doing or why I was doing it. Well, there was an update at some point, and I did not realize that there was a setting that got changed, and I don't know how many episodes or videos it was, but I know that, yeah, I don't know how long it went on for. It could have been only one video. It could have been a couple of videos. I don't know. But there was times where I was explaining things and none of it got recorded. There was, like, my mic wasn't set. My mic wasn't on, basically. So that discouraged me from wanting to play. So I took a break off. I've been excited to start playing the newest Assassin's Creed that's been out for a few months now, or for several months now. I really wanted to start playing that, but I wanted to enjoy that while he was in school, so I could play uninterrupted for a few hours every day. I'll have, like I said, I'll have about 2 or 3 hours of free time to do whatever I want every day. Sometimes it's going to be gaming, sometimes it's stitching, diamond painting. Maybe I'm taking a nap, maybe I'm cleaning, I don't know. So, but we got to get into that we're going to be getting into that new routine shortly, like now, next week, right? But on top of that, my child is, so he's going to be in TK. I don't know if you know what that is yet. It's new to me. I never heard of it. So it's the kindergartners that are in the special education. So sorry, I don't have a drink and I'm thirsty. My throat's starting to get dry. I'm getting close to being done, I promise. Anyways, he also receives special services for he also receives special services how to explain this? So he has an ABA team. I'm not going to get too much I'm not going to over explain this. So I just want to quickly say he receives ABA services. In his ABA services, I would have a video Zoom appointment once a week with his ABA team, and then we have a visit. We get a 1 hour visit each week from his ABA guy. One of the ABA guys would come here, and he has a one-on-one of it, and we kind of run goals once a week for 1 hour. Well, he's not really, he as in my child, he's not progressing to standards. So we are getting that 1 hour a week bumped up to 12 hours a week. And we added a new person to our ABA team whose job it is to come and basically have a 3 hour, 2.5 hour play date with him every day to run goals. So not only will we have him in kindergarten for a few hours, then we come home, we have time to get situated, have lunch, take a nap if he needs to, whatever. And then we'll have the guy will be here he'll be here 4 days a week. Sans Wednesday. Wednesday we don't have ABA, but he'll be here 4 days a week for 3 hours because he is a 2.5 hour play date, but it's 3 hours. He'll be here every day, and then and that's from 2 to 5 every day, which overlaps with when we have dinner. We typically, on a normal day, would have dinner around 4 o'clock. So I could push it to 4:30, but I can't push it any farther than that because of 2 reasons. One, my husband gets home from work at 4, and so he comes home and he's hungry, he wants to eat, but also we have roommates, and that roommate comes home at 5 for dinner. So to not overlap with them, we need to have our dinner ready before their dinner. But so I can't push dinner too much later, or otherwise we would be having to eat way after them. But I digress. So I will have dinner ready before the guy leaves. So for the most part, there's going to be lots of days where I have dinner on the table ready to go by 4:30, and then we won't actually eat until he's out the door, possibly. It really depends on what we're having, I guess. Now, I was already given the okay to do, I don't have to sit in on the appointment every day. I don't have to sit there and monitor it. I could be cleaning the kitchen or getting dinner going, so I don't have to be one-on-one with the guy. So if I'm not, so I could sit at the kitchen table and cross stitch or diamond paint and still be having a conversation with the guy as he needs to communicate with me. I don't have to be sitting in the living room, like full on the couch and interacting with him and my child. So yeah, I'm nervous. I'm really nervous about all the stuff that's about to be added to our schedule, basically. So, but I think that was everything that I wanted to talk about. I have been talking for over 2 hours. I do not know how much editing I'm going to do on this video. And I probably won't post it until tomorrow. So you will probably, yeah, it'll probably be Friday before I post this. Because I don't want to rush editing, but I haven't, like I said, I have an appointment shortly. Oh, I know what I forgot. I'm sorry. One more thing I want to talk about before I wrap everything up, or before I turn off the video. because of the changes in plans, the changes in our schedule, and what and how I envision the rest of this year going. I just want to give you a quick outline of how I see the rest of the year going, just in case I am not able to record again for a while. Okay. Um, so it is August is starting. Um, like I said, I have 2 new cross stitch new starts that I want to start, as well as the diamond painting. So that's what my August is going to be mostly focused on. If I after I reach my goals for the cross stitches, if I still have time, then I will go look at my spreadsheet for the other projects that haven't reached their goals, such as Alice in Wonderland. I haven't touched that yet this year. Or maybe finishing the TARDIS or Dragon. Those are the TARDIS and Stained Glass Dragon, I think I said, are the only 2 projects that I've touched this year that haven't reached their goals. So maybe I'll finish one of those off. It just depends on how much time I have left in August. I really want to. I would like to attempt drills and chills this year. Last year I think I got excited for it. I feel like I got excited for it last year and then completely didn't pay attention. That could have been the year before though. But I feel like I want to kind of ease myself back into the diamond painting community. Maybe I'm not. I feel like I want to do that. I don't know if I'll actually go through with it. I think I'm going to call it. This is a very long video. Thank you for watching if you've made it all the way to the end. Also, let me, when I watch other people's videos, yes, a lot of the time I watch it on I stream it to my TV. But if I can comment, I usually will just leave an emote that my go-to is 3 purple hearts. But sometimes if I feel like there's something that they discussed in their video that would fit something else, then I'll put that in. Like if they're talking about coffee, I might leave the coffee emote. If they are doing Christmas stuff, then I'll leave Christmas emotes. So if you watched it, if you watched all the way to the end, I would appreciate if you would just drop in some whatever random emotes, your favorite emote, in the comment section. But I'm going to let you go. Thank you for watching, and I didn't finish saying what I got sidetracked. September is going to be a combination between continuing to diamond paint. That is when Drills and Chills starts. So I would hopefully be done with the equinox and then starting in on a Halloween kit. I'm not going to pick which Halloween kit I'm going to start at this time because I want to stay focused on the equinox. And I don't know if I will be burnt out by that time. So if I could finish the equinox and I still want a diamond paint, then I'm going to start another diamond painting for that's Halloween themed or spooky themed or whatever. Cross stitching plans for September. I need to put in at least 1 day on the ABCs, and then after that my goal is to go through my goals spreadsheet and decide if there's anything else that I'm going to work on, like I said, for August. Anything that I want to knock off of my to-do list. That'll be September themed, because in October is Halloween stitching. I may or may not do a vlogoween. I've never done a vlogoween. I may or may not do it. Similarly to it would be similar to Flossmas, which I would be hoping to do in December as well. So for vlogging, I would do one project every day. Yeah, I would do one project a day. Um, I'm not worried about finishes or hurt. It just would be one project every day for, we'll say, 2 hours. Like, so not a lot. I don't need a lot of progress. I just want to get a bunch of starts, basically, is what it's going to be. Just get started on everything, and then the majority, if not all, of those projects are going to stay exclusive to October's. And so when I do my whip parade, um, my whip parade would be all my projects and then October's, and then December stitching, I think. So um, I'm starting to lose focus. November, so it'll be one project every day, and the number of projects, I'm not worrying about a set number. It's not 31 projects for Halloween. It's not 13 projects for Halloween. It's just however many I could get started. However many I've got the fabric for. I was gonna say floss. However much I have the fabric for. I will start whatever I can. Then November would be cleanup, because I have Thanksgiving to worry about at the end of the month, and I also will be doing my whip parade in November. So it would just be cleaning up whatever loose ends I have that I want to knock out before the year's over. Then in December, December would be Flossmas, so it would be same thing as October. One project a day, 2 hours a day on whatever project, and then after Christmas, like that week between Christmas and New Year's Eve, I want to keep that open to whatever I want. Maybe I want to go back and revisit what I have to clean up before the year's over. Maybe I want to prep something for the first, for New Year's Day, or even New Year's Eve. Like, is there something I want to start before the first of the month? So that's my intention for the rest of the year. The reason why I wanted to get all that information out now is because I don't know when the next time I'll be able to record is. Obviously, ideally, it would be in 2 weeks from now, but I can't promise anything at this time. I may just be totally wiped out for the next couple months. So I'm going to let you go now, for real this time. Thank you for watching. If you can, leave an emote in the comment section, or leave a comment of your favorite emote, whatever you want. Just to let me know that you watched this video. And I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.